say something. I was like, oh fuck, what was
when
that?
he was saying something about thank you to the. He read a statement from the mayor thanking Chris and Bill and Frank. I said, sure would have been nice if the mayor had been here to read that himself.
I heard it, and I was like, oh, here it's already started. Then I seen you walk up, and I was like, oh, fuck. And I look even further off, and I see Peter. I'm like, God.
The following program is a presentation of Niagara's Vox Media. Opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Niagara's Vox or our sponsors. Any rebroadcast in whole or in part without the written consent of Niagara's Vox is a violation of copyright.
Happy Friday, Niagara Graffiti.
Holy shit.
Happy Friday, Niagara Graffiti. Thank you for joining us for another episode. I am your host, Santa Shawn. As always, I am joined with my elf friend, Timbo.
Oh, let me start off. Let me just do a little disclaimer. By the end of this show, let's just say I'll probably be buying my own Christmas gifts this year. We'll claim the top of the list. So,
Timmy said he's going right to the top of the naughty list today.
This is not going to be a G-rated show, I got a feeling. It's okay, though.
Well, I call that bold talk for a one-eyed fat man.
I think that it'll be a definitely not too far off from the way it was at the council meeting.
Oh, it was fun. Council meeting was fun.
Yeah, it seemed that way. I was kind of depressed or disappointed in myself that I seen you talk, and then I look over and I see that Peter's there too. And I'm like, fudge.
Fudge.
Ho, ho, ho. I said
Come
fudge.
on, Santa. Come on.
I said fudge. I should have had the reindeers take me over to the city council meeting.
Well, let me start off. Let me tell you what you missed. What you missed is an absentee mayor and a city administrator. We had zero administration update because there was nobody there again to do this. And you know, I'm kind of disappointed. I try not to call the mayor out on too many things, but on this one I've got to, because I really think that he's let Miss Jennifer Lemoy run him away from council meetings, because you're elected to a position, okay? I was running for county legislator. I've been, obviously, president of my union and things like that in elected positions with my union. People are not always going to be happy with you. And when you are an elected person, this is something they should know, okay? You get elected. You go through the aggravation of running an election. You get yourself elected. You better have thick skin, and you better sit there and listen when people are pissed off. You can't just sit there and let them, stroke your ego and tell you how good of a job you're doing, because you're not always going to be making everybody happy.
You got to take the good with the bad.
You bet your ass. And you know something? Right now I'm pissed off because the mayor is not showing up at the city council meetings. Okay, it's the council's meeting. I get it. Okay, but you're there to handle city business, and as the city's elected leader, by default, that's what the mayor's position is, okay? You need to be there for that. This is the one time where the taxpayers, can come in and address their grievances, whether it be good or bad, okay? You need to be there for that. And I get it. This is one of the things where we get screwed as taxpayers when you have a mayor a mayor that's a lawyer, okay? He knows the city charter. And I'm going to tell you right now, he is within the city charter by not showing up at the council meetings and then having a special meeting, which is what he likes to do now. That's what's going to happen this Monday. We're going to have another special meeting.
Yes.
That special meeting, the purpose of a special meeting is to handle things that were forgotten or weren't ready by the time a regular council meeting comes around.
Or time-sensitive things.
Time is of the essence issues, okay? You've got something that's got to be dealt with before the next council meeting, okay? That's a time is of the essence issue. Now, this bullshit that he's going to go through on these regulars or these special meetings that they've had now, they've had a couple. This isn't the first one, okay? This shit should have been handled under regular business at a regular city council meeting, because you know what? When you call a special meeting, by rule, no city taxpayers can get up and speak about anything at these special meetings. So by you not showing up at the regular council meeting where the regular taxpayers have an opportunity to speak, you are censoring the taxpayers in this city. And I don't give a shit how you look at it. It's wrong. Okay, that may as well be taxation without representation, because if you cannot address the city mayor at a city council meeting because he doesn't go there when they're handling city business, and then he has a special meeting where you can't talk, he has just silenced the tax-paying public, and that to me is 100% bullshit.
Well, and there's a certain way to go about these kind of, like you said, with the time-sensitive issues. Damn it, that's not Rudolph, is it?
We got reindeer poop out on the front now.
Damn reindeer thinks he's a bull. But there is a proper way to go about doing this. And then, like we were talking about on the way in, they know about these issues weeks before these council meeting agendas are even written up. So yeah, I fully agree that things that needed to be handled in a time-sensitive manner, these should fall under. But when it's becoming a point where there's a special meeting every week, every other week, 2 special meetings a week, then it becomes kind of obvious that you're circumventing the process. Now, granted, he's allowed to call a special meeting with 72-hour notification.
He's within the city charter. Yeah. That's why I said this.
That's where.
But that doesn't make it right.
That's where the issue comes in.
All right.
Because there's certain people that go and, like I said, do you want to weigh in? And I am. I don't like to sugarcoat stuff. When somebody like you goes in there, you say what you got to say, and you say it in an articulated way that it makes sense to everybody that's listening. Mm-hmm. I watch every city council meeting. And there's just certain ways, like when I go in there, I'm afraid my biggest thing is if I go in there and talk, I hate repeating myself. I can't stand it. I don't do the shit with my kids. I don't do it with adults. I went to the city council meeting in 2017, said what I had to say then. Nobody in that's in that position right now is a city council member besides maybe Ken and John, only because we have that special relationship where, I'll talk shit to them regardless of what position they're in, that they've even taken into consideration anything that I had to say.
Oh, yeah.
So I won't go back to them same individuals again and talk. That's why I've not went to them with this Festival of Lights thing. But the reason is because the mayor hasn't been there. And anything that I feel like I got to say to the whole collective.
Right.
And that's the same with other people like Jennifer when she goes and she says whatever is on her mind and her heart, she's allowed to.
Yeah.
She's allowed to. And that's the reason why they hold the good of the community part in speaking on the agenda. I do like the way that they altered it. I'm not going to lie. You talk about the agenda items at the beginning and the good of community at the end. I don't have a problem with that. But then if that's the case, then that means that we have to find a way to make it for the mayor to come in there by legislative action if necessary.
They need to modify the city charter.
Have him come in. And if he wants to leave after the administrative update, we can't say nothing because Deister did it.
And you know what? Even when he wasn't there, him and Nick Melson, that's one thing about them.
That's my big problem.
They always had somebody else there to represent them. I know Doug Janice was there several times. They had several different people that would go in there and sit in there. John Queso did it a couple of times. I mean, they had different people. There was somebody there representing them.
At least what you should have, if not legal representation from City Hall, which we have corporate counsel there, you should have department heads there. The ones that can, where if there's an issue that they can answer, because there's certain issues that they can't answer anyways.
Well,
even if they wanted to.
I remember when there was a budget meeting going on, and I remember Councilman Spanbauer was asking to speak to one of the department heads, and I remember the mayor having a fit saying, you absolutely cannot speak to a department head. If you have questions, you'll ask me or the city administrator, and we will answer those questions. You know something? What are you hiding? Yeah. What are you hiding?
It does become a problem of that. It becomes a transparency problem when you can't go to the people that are in charge of them departments and say, I guess in some ways I can understand a council member. You have to go through the certain process, the chain of command. But when it comes to like somebody like me, you're different. But you're different because you're a union representative. And you've been a union president, and that's your thing.
Yep.
But it's different from when I go and say, ask a question to somebody if it's a reasonable question.
Right. The issue that we had before, though, it was in past administrations. They were having people called to say the director DPW, and they were basically getting political favors. Somebody's bitching about this, and it created inefficiencies. And I completely understand. Do not give them access like that. But when you got a question about the damn budget, you need to go to the source. Why are we having to do secondhand, third-hand sources? I don't like it. But we got some people on the Facebook page here. I
What
wonder
are
what they think about it.
What are those wonderful Facebook viewers saying?
Well, I'm wondering how many of these people are on the naughty list. I see we got my buddy Brian from Ohio was watching. Miss Pello, she's a regular around here.
She's definitely on the naughty list.
And then we got Ohio Barb. She's got Grim, and her sister Kim is in town, I believe. And we need to pass along your get well soon to Miss Barb. I guess she tested positive for COVID, and she's been dealing with
her sister as well.
The chemo and stuff. And she's I spoke to her the other day, and she's hanging in there, but we need to make sure that her spirits stay up and that she gets some good prayers.
Yes. We love her. She's awesome.
We got
thoughts and prayers with you, Miss Barb. Also, Miss Jean Hopkins. I don't know if you know Jean. Had signed herself into hospice today. She said that she's fine. It's just to be more comfortable. Thoughts and prayers go with you.
We're going to send those prayers out to him. Mm-hmm. We got that pain in the ass, Colin Ligamari. Man, she's like a bad penny. She just keeps popping up.
Today is her free day. She is off.
She has been.
She is a free woman.
She flew the coop. And then we got Bobby Smidala. I'm sorry if I said that wrong.
Hey, Bobby. Go Bills.
On here watching. We got Judge Fossil.
Uh-oh. There's a naughty little elf.
You know what? If she's on the top of that naughty list, I'm going for it. I'm sorry, Janelle. I'm gunning for you tonight. I'm taking it.
We have the top of the naughty list.
We have the top of the naughty list. Hey, Peter, will you run that beautiful bean footage?
Here it comes.
Holy!
JoJo's right on top of the naughty list.
And the look on her face.
My daughter's on the top. That's not it. You know what?
She wants to kill somebody in that picture.
You know, I'm gunning for all of them because I'm telling you, by 8 o'clock, my ass is on top of the list. But that's okay. I just hope everybody has a very good Christmas this year. I know I'm going out deer hunting this weekend. This is the last weekend I get to go deer hunting. And then the next 2 weekends, I got to fly to Coop, go to Ohio, and spend some time with the grandkids and my family and my parents and stuff. And
I see my sister Amy Neff commented.
Oh, yeah, she's laughing at you.
That's my big sister.
Oh.
She is.
She won't admit that, I bet, though.
Oh yeah, she loves me to death. She's on the nerdy side of my family.
Oh, so she's on the nerdy list, not the naughty list.
Yeah, she's on the nerdy list. Her and my brother Alex are computer people. We got Miss Colin on the nice list. I don't believe that.
Oh, no. We got, this weekend, I don't know if anybody noticed, we got the
COVID
wreaths.
never caught any good people.
We got the wreaths going on out at the Oakwood Cemetery. They're going to be doing that tomorrow.
I wanted to go to that tomorrow. Wreaths Across America. Mm-hmm. They are going to be putting out 1,000, I believe. I think we have 1,000 plus.
By the way, COVID did make the naughty list.
COVID.
Yes. I beat COVID, though, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, it depends on what strand it is. The Omicron Transformer variant isn't that bad.
I'm just waiting for the flying monkeys to come out when the COVID's not working anymore.
Man, the COVID might be the flying monkeys.
Ask your bartender for COVID Light.
COVID Light.
But to answer your question,
of vaccine.
To answer your question, we got 400 wreaths, over 400 that are going out.
Okay, so over 400 wreaths going out tomorrow.
That's, I believe, is the local number. I don't know what the national number is because that's actually a national.
Well, I can remember when we went and did when Peter went and filmed. We were out there with Tim Baxter and Big Head. I mean Ken Tompkins and
our favorite pirate.
Here comes the other one. He just on a list all by himself.
What the hell is that?
That's the Grinch with no makeup on. I'm coming to steal your pennies.
Oh boy, I'm surprised, Shawn. I haven't seen many memes coming out of you lately.
You know what
I figure we'll see some good elf memes at least.
I still cannot find my damn phone. And I can't sit there.
Did you ask Santa Claus for a new phone for Christmas?
No, I asked Santa to find my phone in the laundry basket because I'm pretty sure that's where it's at.
Maybe Santa will bring you a new phone for Christmas.
We'll see. We'll see.
Hey guys, there was that Christmas suggestion that was made, the new book that they recommended for anyone who wants to understand the workings of the Niagara Falls city government. This is available at your local bookstore.
All right. Look, I wonder if they
I've been there before. I've read that.
For some reason, it looks like you might be on the cover of it.
That's like the very first thing I learned in American Politics 101.
Well, I haven't read that yet, so I'm going to have to put that on my list of things to read.
Wait till you see the centerfold.
Speaking of centerfolds, we got Miss Betty White, our national treasure. Her birthday's coming up here soon.
Betty White, I'm saying it, is a goddamn devil. There's no way you could be 197 years old and still that damn funny.
I think Betty White and Keith Richards are like cut from the same cloth.
Listen, Betty White is hilarious. Like, I watched her on a roast, and I downloaded all the Comedy Central roasts. I like to watch them every now and then. Boy, she is raunchy. For being so old, some of the shit that comes out of her mouth is just like,
Well,
no.
she's definitely a national treasure for sure.
Yes.
But, we did have a comment from Colin when we were talking about those special meetings, by the way. We should acknowledge that. She says that special meetings should be for rare and time-sensitive items, not to make decisions that affect taxpayers without a public hearing.
And I fully agree with you, Colin. And Tim agrees with you, obviously. But I think at the same time, we know why the rules are being circumvened. Like, I don't want to try to jump to any conclusions.
I will. Jennifer Lemoy, thank you.
There's that too, yes. But what I was going into, what I was saying about me going and talking.
Shut up, Joanna.
I love Joanna.
What I was going to say about me going to talk to him back in 2017 is I don't like speaking twice. But when I go, it's always something that's purposeful, I guess. When I went to when we were at that last meeting, you heard me. Everybody hears me at a council meeting. There's no way that when I start laughing that people can't hear me, because I do. And I laugh at every single council meeting because I talk shit about all of you to go up there and just start ranting about just the randomest stuff. If we want things to get back together, there's two things that we have to do. One, they have to legislate him being at these council meetings.
Agreed.
Because even before people started going in there with all that stuff, there was times that he never showed up at the council meetings just because.
If they've got a good reason, I can get it. I can understand it. I totally agree. If
that
they've got
skydiving thing was a reasonable thing. I can understand that. It's something that doesn't happen often. That's a rare thing.
Yeah.
But then there was other times that one time that they didn't show up, they didn't send anybody, and they started asking questions, and corporate council couldn't answer them questions.
Oh, you mean when they tabled the lateral line project?
Exactly.
And then the mayor turned around and threw him under the bus.
And
said the council should approve, or council should be approving this, and they should be behind this because this will benefit the low income and middle income.
I hate when people do that shit. I'm low income. You guys ain't better for me in 42 years.
I don't know nothing about no tiny, but okay. We got a call-in line.
That's what I call him.
we do have a call-in line open if people want to call in, and if you've got something on your mind, something you want to get off your chest, by all means, please don't hesitate to give us a call. 716-990-3934. Phone lines are wide open.
I do want to point something out that I've been looking into this Centennial Park and Event Center, and I'm falling in love with it. I don't know why. I really don't. I wish that the seating was a little bit bigger, but I love comedy. You can ask Melissa if I'm not watching politics or football.
When you got to look at that face in the mirror, I bet you better like comedy.
My girl's
sorry,
always,
Zana, I'm sorry.
My girl's always trying to hide. She just thinks that anyhow. I watch comedy, and I think that a 6,000 seat venue would be perfect to have stand-up comedians.
Could you imagine Jeff Dunham coming here?
Oh, well, he has been here. He's been at the casino.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Damn, I wish I know
yes,
that.
sir.
I know a couple years ago when I went to Ohio for Christmas, we went to see him at the Huntington Center in Toledo.
He's hilarious,
yeah,
man.
Damn
He's
right
hilarious.
He is. Hell yes, he is.
And that's the good thing about comedians. One, I love comedians because they're most of them are under this understanding that you can joke about anything.
Yep.
There's nothing off limits. Like, I can't stand a comedian that'll make a career for themselves like Sarah Silverman did, and then pull
correct shit.
Yeah, and then pull the ladder up and say, well, you can't say that. Well, you just said it 2 years ago. You can't say it.
Fuck you, I can say it.
You know, and then doesn't.
You come here to laugh, goddammit.
Uh-huh.
And it shouldn't be nothing I say offensive to you. Shut the fuck up and laugh or get out.
Exactly, and that's the way I am at home. I say most off the wall shit. Nothing is like super offensive or crazy. I'm sorry, Jackson. I don't mean to say half the shit I say to you, but
now we know where he gets it from.
my kids are like, Dad, that's terrible. You shouldn't say that. Usually it's fat jokes or homeless jokes or, you know.
It's all good. All right, so what else we got? Well,
we have an important issue that's been raised by one of our most loyal followers, and that's Lori Jo Pello.
Lori Jo has an issue with sound effects.
I know, and I feel at this point we should really put this to rest. For a while, I kind of let them go. I didn't have to entertain Jackson with the buttons because he just kept hitting the ejection seat and Tim hit the roof and stuff like that. But let's. Why don't you, Santa, officially ask, do the sound effects stay in the show or do they not?
Well, let me ask everybody in our loving audience, how does everybody feel about the sound effects? Me personally, I like them. Sometimes they're on time. Sometimes.
We got another Santa laughing now.
Sometimes they're just long and dragged out. But
you can't always trust a fart.
It's more about what you would like to see rather than what we would like to hear. There's a lot going on. Like I said, I keep wanting to go to the city council meetings to address this thing I want to do, the Festival of Lights thing. And the best way that I could put what I want to address to them is I don't need the city for nothing other than the stuff that I can't personally do. If I can't get up on a pole to hang something that's left to DPW, and I think that's left to DPW for legal reasons, plus also for contractual reasons. What I want to do is I want to be able to create displays.
Yeah.
Create something similar. I guess it'd be a combination with the had at down by the falls or Old Fall Street, and what they had down at High Park for that Festival Lights when it was there. You know, but it would be more of a community thing rather than, you know, a bunch of people buying stuff and putting it in.
Well, I think that if we're going to put anything up, like, say, figurines or anything like that down there, I think we need to include two things. Two things need to be incorporated in those. Number one is obviously a mask, because we don't want anybody to get offended because they're not wearing a mask, especially Kathy Hochul. But number two, I think in the interest of safety and so they last the longevity, we should incorporate some bulletproof material on there. Maybe some new paint. You know what? Knight Rider kit. The paint that they used on kit, we could put some of that on some of those. So that way we don't have any of our statues or figurines that they get hit by a stray bullet or something like that. From some of the crime that we don't have downtown. We would want those to be safe down there. So, yeah, I think we could probably do that.
I mean, I probably blasted a couple signs in my day too when I was younger.
Oh, we have a response to your poll there.
Oh, Peter. Yeah, let's hear.
We got Miss Ligamari. She says we should keep those sound effects at 25%.
Is that volume?
Kind of like
or 25% usage.
Why don't you clarify that for me if you could?
She should have been a politician with them big ass comments, or is it just 25% of what?
Yeah, I get a feeling she's going to be back. She may say no. I don't think I'm going to. But I think she's going to.
I think she will too.
And I think she needs to. I think the city actually could benefit from her being in a leadership role.
I will state it now. I won't bully you. When we run against each other, we might be able to work together. You know, who knows? But I did make it clear.
Well, you know what? Remember at the car show, Jackson was very protective of her.
That's fine, because
you better be careful. You start bullying her, and you might have to deal with it right in your household.
Jackson's protective of a lot of people, but Jackson knows when we get home.
Oh, there she says. She says at 25% usage, we should. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry, Lori. I am so Sorry. We'll get that edited. We'll get that edited right away. Well, you know what? Let's just say she's on the naughty list.
You want the printing larger?
She's on the naughty list because she doesn't support the gasoline industry around here.
Yeah.
Her and that damn C-Max that's on its third tank of gas in 18 years.
I've got a sound effect for gas.
Ooh. That was some runny gas.
That's going to itch when it dries.
It sharded.
You know, I went out in the woods yesterday, and I was like, I'm running a little late. I didn't take my bucket out there. The one time I don't take the bucket, I got to find a stump to lean against.
Oh, hell.
And it was a bad day today. Bad day yesterday. But that's okay. And look at there. Shawn, she's giving it back to you, buddy.
I didn't do anything.
Colin is giving it right back. She's saying there's no one like a bully, Shawn.
Oh, no, you're right. I love being a bully. I you know what, Colin? You have to disagree with that because you love me.
You know,
and you've known I've been a bully for a long time. If I remember correctly, you told me to stop bullying somebody outside city council. So you've known I'm a bully, and you've just been an enabler. Let's just call it that.
You know, I've seen some of the videos of her working out. She's doing the boxing and stuff like that. You know, Shawn, I got to tell you, man, I'd have to put my money on her. Sorry, buddy, but I think she'd knock you into next week so fast you get a speeding ticket on the way.
I got 7 sisters. I'm used to women bullying me. It's not nothing new. I got 6 kids by 3 women. Obviously, 2 of them don't like me no more, so I'm used to it.
Oh,
just kidding,
boy.
Jess.
All right, so what you got planned for Christmas besides cross-dressing in their Santa Claus outfit?
This isn't the only thing I got on any of this
Oh,
Santa
no.
Claus outfit that qualifies as cross-dressing. But I do got the new shirt, even though the name is messed up.
Just a little.
Just a little. We'll get it figured out, worked out. We're going to get some logos put on them. We will be putting these on the page. Got some other ones. Melissa actually bought these shirts for us because she said that we thought we needed some shirts. But we will be doing that. I'll probably be working on logos. For the next 2 weeks, we're probably just going to float the shows. If we get somebody to come on, we can get them to come on. I didn't plan for the next 2 weeks only because you got stuff going on with your family.
Yep.
Peter's got stuff going on. You know, I got stuff going on with my 37 kids.
We could still probably pull one off, though, if we really
we
wanted
probably
to.
will.
Maybe we should put that out to a poll. Should we do a show the next 2 weeks?
Well, maybe would you guys want to see a show on Christmas Eve?
I think it'd be fun.
I mean,
Just
I'm gonna be driving. Oh no, I'm gonna actually be in Ohio then because I'm leaving Thursday after work. But
Well,
for New Year's Eve, I'm the following
That's
Friday.
funny
I'll be
because
driving.
you're on your way to Vermont.
No, I'm on my way to Ohio. No, I'm going to Ohio, and you know that's another thing. Has anybody heard anything about that 6th district legislator stuff? Have we heard anything about that? It's been very quiet. I haven't heard any kind of an update on that at all.
On what?
On the 6th district legislator race.
It's going to trial, or it's going to the court.
It's going into the
Yeah,
court.
it's going in the court because they would have to. I don't see either side giving it up. That Chris Postal, not Vocchio, but
Borgatti.
yeah, that guy. Sorry, Chris.
Oh.
But you know what he said was, you know, in a lot of ways it was right, but in a lot of ways it was wrong. You know, as a poll inspector, if them ballots were wrong, they had to be discarded. But if there was an agreement beforehand that they would do it this way, which you should never make an agreement before you get to the end. That's just stupid. It makes people sound stupid. Well, we're going to agree that we're not going to. That just sounds dumb as shit. You can't do that until you get to the end because then you're going to say, well, I changed my mind. I'm a renege on that. You know, and
Miss Pello says that they're going to have a final decision on December the 23rd.
Yes.
Okay.
Ask Miss Pello if I should bring sound effects to the council meetings.
I can make sound effects in the back row. I could do that for you.
Somebody was making sound effects there. I heard when the mayor had actually sent in a letter that council chairman actually read.
That's what I heard. I heard somebody
thanking
talking
those
shit.
people, those 30 outgoing council members for their time. And you know, Councilman Tuma was there. He actually made an appearance. Former
It was a
Councilman...
dark day in city council.
Councilman Scott was there. Ezra had made his appearance. And then we
I've
had...
seen Ezra.
I had Dante was there sitting in front of me. He got up and spoke,
Yeah,
and I saw David Zajac, and I think Tracy was Tracy there. Peter, did you see Tracy back there? I think she was.
No, I didn't. No, and I panned the room a few times.
I thought she was back in the
Tracy
back.
usually sits like the third row in from the back.
Yeah, I thought she was
right
behind me,
side.
but I didn't see her. And you know, there were a bunch of different people there. I know Councilman Soda's family was there. I was really glad to see them there. And
I'd like to get Frank in here and talk to Frank after the new year.
Unfortunately, Gerald Skurlin got up and left early. I was looking forward to hearing him speak. He was a little upset about moving the speakers for the.
I'm waiting.
For the community good was moved to the end, and he was a little upset about that. But I don't know.
I feel that the way that they have it set up now is good. I don't have a problem with the way they have it set up now. I think that getting through the agenda items, speaking on the agenda, I don't want to say it's more important than the good of the community conversations.
It's all got to equal out.
Well, that's what I mean. It spaces people out for what needs to be talked about, because when you got them back to back like that, you got people coming up during the good of the community section to want to talk on the agenda, and vice versa. We see it all the time where they play these little games with. I don't want to say it sounds really asshole-ish, but what I'm trying to say is they come in and they act like they got an agenda item to talk about, and they really don't have nothing to talk about. It
they
goes
just
towards the
want to
agenda.
hear their voice.
Yeah, so I think that spacing it out to where let's get the agenda items out of the way, let's vote on the agenda items, and then we'll deal with the other stuff. But going back to what you were ranting about earlier, we'll say both of them. They do need to have him come in there. There's no other reasonable explanation other than you don't want to be chastised.
Don't talk to me, peasant.
Yeah,
There's only one mayor in this city, and it's me. Don't you question me.
Personally, I love it when people come off towards me like that, because, I mean, it just takes a special kind of person to not give a shit about what other people think. And that's a lot of ways I've seen that. I've seen where things that people say really bother.
Well, I look at it like this, and I've talked to a couple other council members about this as well. Mm-hmm. When people show up at a council meeting, okay, city council members are being paid to be there. The mayor obviously should be there. It should be part of their responsibilities. But the taxpayers that show up there aren't getting paid to be there. They have come there. A lot of them have to see what's going on, and they've got some kind of something that's pissed them off.
Yeah,
they've tried to get it addressed, and they've not gotten any satisfaction. So it's like going to a council meeting is like their last option. Yeah. And they go there, and of course, by the time they get to the council meeting, they're already pissed because they've already been jerked around by City Hall. They've already been jerked around by the mayor's office. They've been jerked around by whoever that they've talked to, and they've gotten no satisfaction. So now they're coming to the council to try and get something done. Yeah. Okay, so you got to understand they're already frustrated by the time they get there. And then when they show up there, some of them that have never been to a council meeting before, and they see the kind of shit show that goes on there. Okay, I got to tell you, I've been going for years now, and some of the shit shows that I've seen happen there, I mean, you don't need TV. You just go there and watch a council meeting and see some of the craziness that happens.
I've seen them.
But these people are pissed. Yeah. You have to understand, and I think that as an elected official, it is your duty. It is part of your duty to sit there and listen to them. Like I said, it's great when they're stroking you. You're going to tell you how good of a job you're doing. Thank you so much. Oh, you did such a great job. But you got to sit there and you got to take the bitching at them. Yeah. You got to do it. It's just something you got to do, because these people are at the end of their rope. They're pissed because nothing's happening, and they've actually taken time out of their day to come to the shit show known as a city council meeting. And then they sit there, and then some of the other past council members would sit there and text on their phone, and
Candy Crush Queen.
Yeah.
But ideally, you're absolutely correct. They should be able to sit there and take constructive and destructive criticism. The only way that you're going to find a reasonable solution to the problems of people.
These are the people you're elected to represent.
And these are the issues that you were elected to deal with. You know?
And the other thing, too, is, you know what? We don't have districts like the county legislators do. City council is all at large.
Yeah.
So all 5 of you council members sitting on that dais, you represent everybody in the city, not just a certain district, not just the downtown, not just the LaSalle people or the DeVoe people. You represent everybody in the city, so you all equally should sit there and listen to what they've got to say.
And in a lot of ways, it's 50-50. If we want them to listen to us, we have to go to them properly.
Right.
You know, if me and you came into a conversation and we didn't really deal with each other all like that, like me and you talk at least 2, 3, 4 times a week. There's times where you message me random weird pictures first thing in the morning. You know, we have a different relationship than, say, me or just because the mayor's been in here having a conversation with me, I don't know him.
Right.
You know, I've never dealt with him outside of that one day. But I would assume, but because of the way I approached him that one day, and just my general decorum, how I deal with people in general, would be a little bit different because I tend to look at things. And one big problem that we do have here in the city of Niagara Falls, which absolutely drives me batshit crazy, is the laziness of individuals here. People that refuse to go to a Facebook page to get the information. They refuse to go to the city website. They refuse to go to the city council page to look at these things. You literally can Google all this shit. The one lane drop from Ferry and Walnut, they've had that page up for 5, 6, 7 years now.
Yeah.
You know, and it didn't take me nothing to Google it. I didn't, you know, I had to take time to go and look exactly what I was looking for because I knew I'd seen it before. But it really doesn't take that much time to go and Google these things, or to go to the page and try to find the information that you're looking for. So I think a lot of the conversations become redundant, you know, because you're dealing with 5, 6, 7, 20, 50 people that all have the same gripe.
Yeah.
But they're not doing anything on their own outside of expected. And a lot of it is shit that neighborhoods and communities can deal with on their own.
Without getting the city administration involved.
Yes, because they did that shit on their own.
Yep.
From a pure media perspective, gentlemen, the last 2 meetings I've been there, and I set up our 4K camera to one side. I get good audio sound. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I notice is when I watch the LCTV production, I mean, they do a good job, but it's what we call in broadcasting static. It's one all the cameras kind of stay where they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something I found really interesting last night, and I apologize, I left all the backup files at home where I was getting them all organized.
Damn it.
But I know because you did great, Tim. I'll put it up for everyone.
Yeah.
But one of the things I notice is when one of the members of council starts addressing something, when somebody starts addressing another issue, it's good to cut back over to the audience, to the citizens who are there, because then you start getting an idea. There are people who are snickering. There are people who are laughing, and they may well have every right to do so. And you've got groups of people. It gives you an idea of how the public is responding to this.
Well, their body language and just their general demeanor of how they do things. And, you know, I'm very observant. I'm very good at sociology and studying how people act, and I've always had that kind of good judgment of character towards people, and that's why I kind of go and I like to sit in the back. You know, most times that I go to a city council meeting, you can find me all the way in the back row of the city council meeting. You can know I'm there because you hear, "Oh shit, what the hell?" Oh my God, this fucking idiot. You hear those kind of things from me. Because that's a natural reaction that I have because I have a hard time containing myself.
Dude, I do that from the 3rd row.
Oh, when we were both sitting next to each other, that was hilarious. Like I had to cover my mouth, but that says a lot because we weren't doing that to the council members while they were talking. We were doing those to the community members that were talking because and that's why I'm not defending him not being there by any means whatsoever. That's his job.
Yep.
He's supposed to be there. He's supposed to listen to us. It doesn't matter what we say.
But when you know there's a loophole in that city charter and you exploit it for the wrong reasons, that's wrong.
Yeah, and that's dead wrong. I do agree with that.
Well, we've made a commitment, Shawn and Tim, thanks to Dave and Sam especially, and Colin, who's been a lot of help. We made a commitment. We're going to be at every council meeting. We'll be there Monday night at the special meeting. And one of the things we're doing is we're focusing on reactions. Now, it's kind of fun because I keep my eyes peeled to see if a council member picks their nose. I want to catch that, eating potato chips, that kind of thing. But in general, when you get them a little closer and then you get people's reactions, you're starting to create that interplay that's missing in the void between that desk at the front or their bench and everything else. I love when you pull that down, Shawn. You look like a hitman for the College of Cardinals in the Vatican.
What you talk about, I say?
Hey, you know what, Peter?
I'm going to go out. We're going to go sell oranges, I say.
If you're not doing anything tomorrow, Lori's telling me that tomorrow's the final coffee with Chris.
Coffee with Chris.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
I wouldn't go to Coffee with Chris if it was that cat chick coffee that they make down south.
I went to a coffee with Chris. I did go there right before we hit.
You go there for.
I went there it was before the primary.
You went there to be naughty.
Oh, where's that Tim picture?
No, I went to be engaging with the public.
Yeah.
And I got somebody tried putting me on the spot, and I was just like, you want to pull me? You want to? You want to put me on the spot, dude? I will answer the questions. I will give you all the information I have.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there to campaign or anything, but I had people asking me in the parking lot outside, well, why aren't you, this? And I'm like, I'm running for county legislator. Oh, that's what Chris is running. I said, yeah, he's my opponent. They're just looking at me like, I said, look, I'm not here to campaign.
Tim, let's face it. You go because you're like anyone who likes to stand in front of the tiger cage at the zoo and
I'm
rattle
not afraid
them.
of anybody or anything. I don't run away from a challenge
folks,
or anything. It's just
Tim picks me up.
I like to have
every
fun.
Friday at 6:15, and I sit right next to his shit stirring stick that he rides around with.
That's fun, though.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And at the same time, though, that's why I said to you that there's a difference between when you go to, when you go to a city council meeting, you address, because the way you do it more understanding of the process and how to deal with things.
This asshole needs a costume. Hey, do we got a Rudolph costume around here anywhere?
I got antlers and shit at the house. I should have bought them.
We should. But I think our producer might have needed to wear that reindeer costume.
Tomorrow while you're out there.
Oh, come on. I'm having fun.
You're good.
And actually, we missed Dustin tonight.
Yes, we do.
We do.
What is wrong with Dustin now?
Nothing was wrong. Believe it or not, that young man has really grown up a lot. And yesterday he got invited with a bunch of friends he works with to watch a special preview of the new Spider-Man movie.
Nice.
So he exchanged some time off school and had practically begged his mom. And I said, look, take the Friday off. I'd rather see him with his friends and having a good time.
Man, I'd have gone to see that movie.
I hate to tell you this, Dustin, but we will be streaming it live next week. We'll be streaming that, and we'll be streaming the new Matrix movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna stream them both.
Oh.
I'm gonna do them both. Probably.
How do you do that without copyright infringement or anything?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh. It's an unknown source, huh? Okay.
Well, and we're gonna because we have all that shit, HBO Plus, Paramount Plus, and hasn't shot a deer. That's a good person there though. That's not. There was one time when I drove down his street over there on Ashland.
And did you pass 670 Ashland Avenue where that damn house has got a tree growing through it that the city won't take down?
There's a tree growing through a house
There's
over there?
a fucking tree growing through, and they offered to send the Zoom team over to clean that house up, and I said, don't. I'd rather look at the overgrown weeds than look at that shitty house.
I see they're getting you help.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
It's listed.
A new gun?
It's listed.
What's that?
Mechanic's helper.
Oh, that's for one of the guys that moved up.
Oh, so you don't get a helper.
No, I don't have a helper in my. Well, we have a helper in my shop. Yes, we do. Okay. But this is over in the yard, over in the big yard on New Road.
Well, it was just surprising that I've seen there's quite a few jobs posted on the city website.
You know what? That is a fraction of what we need to fill, because for some reason the city does not like to refill the positions when people retire or when they go off on comp, or and right now, you know what? We can talk about that. That's one of the things we can talk about, because right now the city is actually broken down. The workforce is broken down in shift work.
Yeah.
Right now,
is it per diem?
No. They're still, regular hourly, but we'll have like 3 or 4 plow trucks on at all times. There are 3 or 4 drivers on at all times. They broke it down into like 5 or 6 shifts now.
Okay.
So they've got people that it's to eliminate a lot of the overtime, so they're broken down on regular shifts.
Yeah.
But now I see on the weather report we've got some snow that's going to be here tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if that's the case and we get nailed with a storm, then you've got people that are already out on the road when the snow starts, but then they can also call in some other people. That's when you start running into the overtime, of course.
Yeah.
But we do have people that are on now. They're roving 24 hours. And we've got 2 shifts that are on out at the mechanic shop now in New Road. But the problem is there's only 2 mechanics on each shift because they're so short-handed. I mean, it's borderline safety concern because an OSHA violation, you can't have just one person in the shop when you're underneath a vehicle or when it's lifted up in the air.
Yeah, you gotta have spotters.
You got dump trucks up in the air, and you've seen the dump trucks. They're not exactly small. I mean, they're not much bigger than me, but they're not exactly small.
Yeah.
And when you're underneath one of those suckers fixing a transmission or a hydraulic line or, heaven forbid, anything like that, if something was to happen and somebody was to get crushed, I would be absolutely want to destroy the city administration for not putting enough people on there to keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about the police and the fire, minimum staffing and stuff like that. Okay, we don't have minimum staffing, but we do still have OSHA regulations to follow. And when you start tickling that line of where you're becoming, against OSHA regulations, that's an issue for me.
Yeah.
Not just because I'm a union executive or anything like that, but because I'm a damn employee and I care about the people that I work with.
Well, and not just that. It's also the things that you guys are dealing with. If they're not properly done, then you're also compromising the safety of the public.
Absolutely.
Because could you imagine if you put on, one of them tires and I don't know if they have tie rods. It's kind of huge for having tie rods.
Yes, they do.
Do they? What if tie rod snaps?
Well,
because you didn't balance it right.
Or if a tire flies off.
Or we've already had that issue at the convention center, and I was there when that damn monster truck tire fell off, and that old man was quick, boy. That was a long time ago. Peter, you remember that? That monster at the old convention center? You remember that time?
Peter was here. I got here after the convention center, right after the convention center became the casino.
Back when I was a kid, when they used to have monster trucks come here, American Gladiators.
That was the last show, I believe, wasn't it? Where
the
one person got hit by a tire.
monster truck show they had here. A tire came off the monster truck and
went into the crowd and killed somebody, didn't it?
This old man pushed 2 little boys out of the way and he killed the old man.
I remember hearing about that. That was the last show that they ever did in there.
And so it was kind of weird because I remember him. I realized as I was going through and looking for different sources of information that Lockport has the channel that we should be having. The LCTV.
Oh, yes.
The actual web page for channel 1302, 1303, and 1304 is based out of Lockport.
Yes.
When it should be here in downtown Niagara Falls.
That's LCTV, right?
Yes, and if we had that here and it was down on the regular channel 23, channel 19, whatever you want to make it, 21, that would deal with a lot of our issues.
Yeah.
Because then you can actually use that to go out and get these elected officials to go on these shows. I love it when they come on here. I do.
Well, you know where their funding came from, because I used to work with them.
Well, we pay the taxes to Spectrum on those.
Yeah, but originally, when you go back to Adelphia and companies like that, when a cable company had an area to cover, they made a commitment to offer public access cable.
Yes.
And it's in Lockport because that's the county seat.
Yeah, true.
That's why.
Well, I always go back to when I try to talk about the need of something with them, not something, but with them. I always go back to Wayne's World, where their show was done out of a public access channel
in a basement.
Yeah, and they would go down to the studio and they would pay for their time and do it there, And we don't. The closest we got to something like that is this.
Yes.
Self-standing studio. We don't. I think a lot of people come to this impression that when they watch all the shows on here, that we're in a basement or we're in different rooms.
Right now you're in the North Pole.
Tim's literally right there. I could throw my pen at Tim and hit him in the head. Or I could throw this way and hit Peter over there.
You're at the North Pole. Look at you. I can see it. It says right there, North Pole.
Well, with 6 kids, I'm going to leave that joke alone. I was going to make a pole joke, but
No.
I had to make Christmas money somehow, so.
Mind your business, okay? Just mind your business. If you see me out there dancing on the pole, just mind your business.
You see me leaving the building with no pants on, you could figure it out.
How'd you guys do with the storm that we had, with the wind and everything like that?
I'm gravy. My building shakes a little bit, but it shakes a little bit all the time. That whole building is going to topple over at some point in time.
Well,
I don't know. I know for a fact it is. I could see where the flooring is messed up, where it's got this bubble in the middle of it.
yeah.
But at some point in time, it's going to drop.
You drive around the city, though, and you can still see there's some still trees that are down that they're working on picking up. And, I mean, I know that they had called in a couple extra crews when that happened, when we got the first windstorm that came through. And they were trying to just clear the trees off the streets. And I know a friend of mine over on 69th Street, his power was out. There was a tree down at the end of his street. One thing people need to remember is you cannot always assume that your neighbor called about the tree down or the power out, because when you get everybody, they think, oh, well, the neighbor called, this person called, that person called. Nobody calls. And I took the generator over to Scott's house, and I drove down by, and I didn't see any cones. So I'm like, well, we better call and make sure somebody. So I started to call the power company, and I'm like, hey, did you guys know there's a tree down over here on 69th that took down the power lines? And they're like, oh, no, we'll get somebody on that right away. And I'm like, I wonder if the city forestry crew knows anything about it. And the next thing I know, they come pulling around the corner then. And I was like, oh, well, somebody must have finally called them. But I had asked the forester about it the following day at work. And I'm like, hey, did you know? No, we were just cruising around. And somebody said they thought there was a tree down over there. They looked, and nobody's porch lights or anything were on. No street lights were on. And so, when things like that happen, you trust me, it's better to have 10 calls than to have 0 calls, because one of those 10 calls is going to get something done. If they don't know about it, those 0 calls that they receive, you're not going to get it done.
It's always wild, too, because the people that assume that somebody called to be the same people that, complain about that shit on Facebook. They never came. Well, did you call them? Well, I thought that Bob down the street called, and Jeff told me
in
he
front
was
of my
gonna
house.
call, and
It ain't in front of my house.
yeah. Listen, I'm going to be honest with people. I've had people message me from a few blocks away and be like, hey, is your electricity on? Hey, is your water on? I'm on the hospital line. My shit is always
Don't
on.
go off.
And I don't really care if your electricity or something goes off. It doesn't bother me. Like, I'm not going to call for you, so you might as well call it yourself. I'm always going to be on, regardless.
Well, those crews were out. And I got to tell you, when I came through, I was driving around, and you know something? It was scary watching the people. Traffic lights were out.
Yeah.
So when traffic lights are out, they teach you in driver's ed, they teach you when you get your permit.
4-way stop.
So 4-way stop when the traffic lights out. These assholes was flying through. You just swore they was running through the checkered line, the checkered finish at the fucking Indy 500.
This is the reason, and that's just a microcosm of the overall. When there's no law and order, chaos ensues.
Oh, yes.
And that's just the way it is with everything, and that's why we've survived the way we have, because we are a rule of law country. And even though it's something small as the lights going out, you could see accidents happening because people lose their minds in all sense of civility. And like I was go back when I was saying about me watching stand-up comics a lot, and I watch a lot of Melissa will tell you, I watch a lot of politics. And it's
not a hobby.
It's not surprising to me that people, Colin, it's the wild, wild west. And it doesn't make sense when people get to that point to where something minor makes them go batshit crazy. There's no sense in that. Like it's like you one day you're doing good, you have manners, and even if it's like shit manners, you still have manners. You still can say yes, no, please, thank you, and stuff like that. But when there's nothing that's out there, when there's no rule of law, if you will, People just say, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to shit right here on the ground.
Damn
Yeah,
right.
thank God this isn't. Thank God Niagara Falls, New York. I said that really weird, like almost country. Thank God Niagara Falls, New York is in California. Because I am perfectly happy with homeless people freezing here as long as I don't have to watch them poop outside. I've seen it. I've seen it across. I posted a video of a lady either pooping or peeing in the bushes across the street from me. That's what happens when we start doing these things. Like, and I'm going on this because I was watching earlier. I can't remember. I think it was Fox News. Almost has to be Fox News to be talking like this. And I watch all of them. I watch MSNBC, CNN, Fox News. If I really, really want to know what's going on, I watch C-SPAN, where it's just them going into the. I'll sit there and watch legislative meetings and special council meetings for hours. I love that shit. 8-hour video, conferences and whatnot. But they were talking about how now people on the left are distancing themselves from the defund movement. And
because they're starting to see the results of
that's
that.
the result of it. When you start demonizing law enforcement and demonizing good people that just want to live, they just want to live.
Do a job.
You
Just
know?
want to be there and do a job. Do the best they can do.
And do the best that they can do, they're not going to want to do it.
Well, and we're seeing that right now with the nurses and stuff like that at the hospitals,
Exactly.
the emergency workers and stuff. They went through this whole thing, with very minimal protection that they could get,
If any protection.
and now they want to demonize them because they don't trust to get a vaccine. They want to force them to get a vaccine,
Well,
and then when they all have to walk out and quit because these people don't want to quit.
No,
They're
not at all.
forced out. They're given an option, And when they say, no, we're not going to do this, you're not going to force me to do this, and then they have to leave. Yep. Now you've got these guys that throw them under the bus on TV saying, oh, well, our capacities, we're already at full capacity. Bitch, you're at full capacity because you cut the workforce.
Because you cut the workforce. It's not that their capacity taken.
It's not the physical capacity.
Yeah.
It's because they can only have so many patients per person, and when you've run those people out of there, you left them no option but to leave.
Yeah, and that's basically what it's boiled down to. And it's weird because I posted the thing the other day that the state has instituted, and regardless of what anybody thinks, the state did pass a new mask mandate. Mm-hmm. Whether they enforce it or not means absolutely nothing. Because what they can do is, if Hochul came here and if she decided she wanted to come to Niagara Falls City Council meeting.
She will be here tomorrow, by the way.
And they decide that she wants to go ahead and have everybody find in there, she could do that.
She can't.
She can.
Mm-mm. There's no punishment. There's no punishment that they can push on there. I was looking into that because it's not a law. It's an executive order.
What it is it's an unfunded mandate.
But they can only do that when there's a state of emergency declared. Is when her
she just declared
mandate,
one 2 weeks ago.
That's not a legal state of emergency because we don't have the statistics in order to qualify as a state of emergency.
What normal person do you know that's going to actually take that to the Supreme Court and fight that here?
Oh, I would absolutely.
Well, but you also took the time to look into it. There's not people taking the time to look into it.
Nope.
And I do understand in a lot of ways that it's going into the realm of complying. I don't like to comply with shit.
Yep.
But the fact of the matter is that it's there. They're doing whatever they want to do.
But that doesn't make it legal.
No, it doesn't make it legal by any means. But at the same time, you're not going to have average people out here fighting it.
The only thing I say is the people that want this vaccination, please get it. I would be more than happy to help facilitate you to get that vaccine if you want it.
Matter of fact, I think School of Entrepreneurial Thought is hosting a vaccination.
They certainly are. Demetrius and Trent are both getting vaccinated in that. That's that this weekend?
I believe
I have to look it up. I can't
so.
remember.
I think Peter posted it on the Vox page.
Yeah, it's on their YouTube or their Facebook page. I did see that.
Yeah.
I know. We did have Sam chimed in here on our Facebook feed, and Colin said that was today until 5 o'clock, so we missed that. But Sam made a comment on here. He was talking to Ohio Barb, said that the mayor does not show as it is the council's meeting, which it is the city council's meeting. It's not the mayor's meeting. But he will show if he wants to address the council. It's always been like that.
Well,
this is true, but like I
think
said,
that he has to be there to do the city administration.
That's part of it.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
If he can't be there, he should have a representative there in his place to do that. Paul Deister used to do that. Nick Melson did.
I think at very least, Tony should be there. City Administrator Rustino should be there.
Yep.
And I believe that if the mayor himself is not there, there should be a reason for it. And I don't want to sound like I'm trying to come across the asshole as I am. He should be there. He was voted in that position.
I said it plain and clear when I got up to speak at that meeting that the city council members should amend that city charter to include the mayor in the city council meetings. I don't care. I don't think it's right that he's not there. You should be there listening to the people. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why you would think anything other than that you should be there. If you got people that are pissed off, you got to deal with them. You got people that are happy. You're more than happy to talk to them. But the people that are pissed off and criticizing you, you can't turn your back on them. You got to listen.
I will say in a lot of ways that I think that, and I say it often. As a matter of fact, I said it at the meeting we were at last time. You could see me on the video walk up to tell Kenny, I'm not staying at this meeting. I don't want to hear the shit that these people have to ramble about. Because anything that I say, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to articulate it. And it's not going to sound like, I'm not going to be F this, F that. But I don't want to sit there and listen to, people go back and forth about why it's good to put a sign up, then take it down, or argue about some old man down the street's wheelchair ramp being put in, or, it's just certain ways.
But that's what they need to hear. They need to hear from everybody.
Yeah.
It may not be important to you because it doesn't affect you, but it's obviously important to them or they wouldn't have showed up to talk about it.
Yeah, well, and that's just like, it's easy for them to show up like the public library. They showed the makers, the new makers department over there where they got the 3D printers in and whatnot.
I saw that just a little bit ago. Ange Mornello was there.
Angelo was there. Ort was there. Higgins was there. And you don't really, I can't say that about Angelo because anytime Sam or anybody's ever asked Angelo to come on, he's been willing to come on, and
speaking of Sam, we forgot to include him in our COVID prayers because Sam was diagnosed with COVID as well. Mr. Archie was.
Oh, yeah. I seen him on his podcast the other day.
Hopefully he's
I don't know what the hell was going on with that room. That should look like campaigns of Christmas past or some shit. I don't know. I was afraid for him. I really thought he was like Hoarders episode 14, season 9.
Oh my God, you just me a Christmas play. On Christmas Day, I'll show you last year's play. I don't know if you ever saw it, where we did the final scene from, from Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
Oh no.
Did you see that with Brett down on the ground? Where Scrooge is calling out to the boy.
Hey, you boy, what day is it?
Oh, my God. That is the best. We'll have to show that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I love all them Christmas movies. I was thinking about going back and doing a live feed of the Santa Claus and the Rudolph movies and the Frosty the Snowman, the old ones.
Die Hard.
Yeah, I love those.
Well, you know what we need to do? What we need to do is, we were talking about this earlier before we came on as well, is after the Christmas is over and the New Year's is over,
yes,
we got to pull out a name.
Yes, and what we wanted to do, or what I was talking about before we actually went on was, you'll be out of town on before New Year's or after New Year's?
I'm leaving.
When will you be seeing her?
Oh, I'm going to see her next weekend. I'm going to be there for Christmas at Mom's house.
Oh, so why don't we have her pull it for Christmas? That way if somebody wants to use it for New Year's, they can use it.
We could do that, or we could actually have Dustin do this.
Well, we could have Dustin. That'd be a nice thing for Dustin to do.
Let Dustin do that.
We're going to go ahead and pull the name of the $50 winner from Maloney's Subs and Deli. We're going to have Dustin pull it. I'm going to go ahead and start writing down the names tonight. We'll get it to Peter, and then we'll have Dustin pull it.
Yeah, we'll have to do
next week. Peter, sound good?
Yep.
We'll do see if we can get a camera out, and we'll go do like a big Publishers Clearinghouse.
A big check.
Yeah.
I can make
Get
a big check. I can do
balloons,
that.
Some flowers.
There we go. And then we'll walk it up to him like Santa Claus. Well,
Yeah, we'll have to.
we'll have to dress like the New Year's baby. We'll both have to wear
You'll have
diapers.
to dress like the New
Oh,
Year's baby.
Tim, yes.
We could do that, Tim. We
I
could,
don't look like a New Year's baby. I look like a fucking sumo
we
wrestler.
could
Okay, no.
rock some diapers. Tim, I couldn't even get the Santa Claus jacket all the way around me if it makes you feel better. I kept it like this so I can see the name, and then I was like, this shit ain't going all the way across anyways. My belt, Jackson was like, that belt is plastic. It's going to break.
It's gonna be a projectile.
Yeah, that boy has been on some shit today.
Oh shit.
But we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna probably go ahead and take off for the next 2 weeks to enjoy our time. We'll get together.
Family time.
Yeah, we'll get together on StreamYard. One, probably not next Friday, but the Friday after.
Yeah.
It would be like 31st. We'll shoot the shit. We'll get drunk and we'll have like a nice chat on there from our living rooms.
A best of. We can put together a best of.
Yeah, we do a best of. We can throw together a video compilation and.
When Tim did the pole dancing at
Hey, I had to buy some damn arrows for my
Hey,
crossbow.
I tried to tell you.
Mind your business. Bullets ain't cheap.
I was out there handling candy canes to get some Christmas money. You know.
do you remember all those women calling out? I mean, we got that recording.
Hey. Yeah. All I can say is don't knock it till you try it.
Moron!
That's what my Chippendales thing sounds like. That's what I sound like when I go to Chippendales. Chippendales.
We could put on a Chunkendale show. Oh my God, belly to belly, oh no.
You're making me think of Joanna now. Please stop.
The dad bods. Oh shit. I dropped the.
Oh, it's gone forever.
No, it's down here somewhere.
Did you drop the little foam thing?
Yeah, I did.
Oh no.
There it is. I see it.
Oh, good. While you're down there,
Ho, 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 ho.
clean up. No.
That's where it goes. Ho, 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 ho.
I'll tell you the
Let
best.
me put the mic in the hole. Ho, ho, ho.
Who's the best Mrs. Claus or elf that you've ever seen?
Goldie Hawn.
Who?
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn, you think?
Legit, yes. Goldie Hawn, for her age, is still incredibly attractive.
Yes.
I like Jenny McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
You know, it was a good one. Remember Bad Santa, the movie Bad Santa?
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
might
that,
got
like-
shit right for a week.
Yeah, the goth. He had the goth one that he like smashed in the back of the car. And she was the bartender. She wasn't.
Yep.
Never mind. She wasn't an elf.
No.
was
She
the
was the
bartender.
bartender. She
I'll
was
take
hot.
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, she was good too. And The Wrestler. When she was in The Wrestler.
That was
Yeah.
a fabulous movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah.
Oh, she was
Yeah,
good
Interesting
there.
movie.
hey, for the 31st, whether we do it live or not,
Hey,
we should do the best
oh,
of.
we got a call coming in, Peter. Let's see who this is. I'm not sure who it is.
This may be a good thing. It may not be a good thing.
Hello. You're on
Hello,
Niagara
it's
Graffiti.
me.
Hello.
It's Lori.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Miss Pello has joined us on the air.
Hello, Lori Joe. How are you doing tonight?
I'm okay.
Just okay?
Yeah, just okay.
Oh,
She's calling about the sound effects. She couldn't take that shit no more.
well, she's not at a gas station. We know that.
She heard the cows. She wasn't even in the same room. She heard the farm animals. She's like, some bitch. I'm going to call.
You know, that's it. That's it. You know, that could be the worst Christmas gift ever. Let's get Lori
Are
Joe
you a good
gas
whistle for
card.
bad bitch?
We'll
could
get her
e-
a gas card.
we
She'll
could-
never use it.
We could just send Peter outside her house to set up the equipment and just blast sound effects tonight.
Oh,
What's
good
on
Lord.
your mind, Miss Pello? How are you doing?
I'm all right. I wanted to. The mayor last night was speaking at the community health center on Highland Avenue.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That's probably why he wasn't at the council meeting.
Last night was Thursday night, hon. This is
Oh, I'm
Friday.
sorry.
Council
Oh, I
meeting is
thought you-
Wednesday.
All right,
We're
I thought
on
it was
Friday.
Was it Wednesday night then?
Yeah, council meetings are Wednesday nights. You're usually
No,
there.
but I'm saying was what I've been watching. I'm staying away from people.
I don't blame you. Some of the people that were there.
I think the last one she was at was the last one I was at.
I couldn't take their public speakers.
Yes.
It was just ridiculous. I had to leave.
Some
What was
of
that?
them, some of them are a little out there when they speak.
Yeah.
But like
So
I
at
said,
least-
you know, they're there to speak about something that matters to them. May not matter to everybody, but it matters to them, and I think they should be respected and listened to.
Well, that's all fine and dandy if they know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
And if they're speaking a language that's understandable too, we got.
Well, no, they just don't. Yeah, it's just they don't know what they're talking about when they're speaking.
Yeah, some of them don't. They don't do a lot of research, but they
Yeah.
like to hear
No.
their voice. So, yeah, there we go.
I think people go into the city council meeting with the same attitude that they wake up and get on Facebook with.
Yes.
And that's exactly what it is. They get on there and they start, you know, throwing darts at people like they're commenting on a random post, and they don't take into consideration that half the shit that they talk about is either already being addressed or it's already been, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I fully agree with you that people need to.
There's also rules.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
there
know,
are.
there's
I think the rules, though, I think the rules are a little bit misconstrued. I mean, if you're throwing chairs, yeah, get the hell out. All right, have them arrested, whatever. But if you're just up there and you're using words, you're not always going to use language that people all will agree with. And I will be the first one to sit here and say, shit, okay, bullshit. But they're not up there, you know, you're a motherfucking asshole. I haven't heard anything like that yet. I've heard some people that have gone, you know, come close to that. But, you know, I get it. And when they say you got to use, you know what, you don't always have to use proper English. And you know what, we're not in the church.
Proper English is one thing, respect is another.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what, and I agree with that to an extent. But like I said, when these people get there and they've been so disrespected for months when they were trying to get some relief for something that's been bothering them, the level of frustration has to be taken into account as well.
Well, it's like if you, what was being said at the last council meeting that we were at, and that Lori was at sitting across from us, and it has to keep being brought up as a point about it's a council meeting.
Yes.
It's not a mayor's meeting. Yes, he has to be there for administrative updates and whatnot. But even if you go to a higher position like Congress, when you go to a special council meeting or a special meeting with congressmen, you're only supposed to address the dais. Not everybody else not sitting at your table, not the people sitting behind you or nothing like that. It's supposed to be directly pointed towards the people of the dais. And that's what Kenny's big thing was.
Right.
It's Kenny's job to keep that meeting in order.
Yes.
And
as the chairman, yes.
If you got a personal attack, then that's going outside the structure of
the purpose of the meeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're supposed go ahead, Lori.
Oh, I was just saying, it's also, you're addressing issues. It's not for a back and forth discussion between council and the person speaking.
That's right. They're not supposed to respond. The council is not supposed to be responding.
No.
You
And
get
at least,
up there and say your thing and then shut the hell up and leave.
Yeah.
And then the following week, at least they've been addressing what's been discussed.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
That's something new.
What do you
That's
think of
something new. That's something new.
What do you think of that? Was that good?
I like it. It kind of reviews the previous week because we don't get to see the minutes.
Yeah.
Right. But it also gives people an opportunity to see that they were heard.
Yeah.
Their concerns were addressed, and there is a response to them. So they weren't ignored. And I think a lot of people have taken good to that. They actually like that because they've got their attention. They know now that they were heard, and that if nothing's done then, now they can come back with both barrels blazing and say, look, you son of a bitch, you addressed me at the next meeting, but you still haven't done nothing about it. I get it.
Yeah.
I do. I hope that continues with, the next chairmans that are going to be coming through, because I actually think that was a good addition. I think Kenny did good when he put that in there.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
So, Miss Pella, what are your plans for Christmas? What you got going on?
I don't know yet. Our family, I've got family out of town that's not coming now. Because of all that. They come from, near New York City. They're not traveling because of all the stuff going on with COVID still.
Yeah.
I don't know, what house we're celebrating at. I don't know. There's 4 or 5 different houses here, and I haven't heard yet where we're going.
Go to a halfway house.
Just do like
Yeah,
a bar
seriously.
crawl.
We should.
It's easier since it's just me. It's easier for me to go where they are instead of all of them coming here.
But then you got to put gas in your car. You're going to have to drive.
No, it works out that there's enough electricity
Still an
that
electric
it's
motor.
all.
She's
Nobody's that far.
You just get picked up. Be like, hey, just come pick me up real quick and bring me home. That's,
You know what would be cool? What would be a good idea? We should rent a short-term rental for the day and just go have it at a short-term rental.
yeah.
Miss Legamari, I wonder if hers is open. Maybe we could go to get on
They're
her
not
short-term
supposed to
rental.
be used for parties.
Well, of course they're
mean-
not, especially by locals. But
If you don't say nothing, if you don't come right out and say, hey, we're gonna have a
maybe we can get hold of one of those illegal ones. We
a
should get the
party
list
with
of
a-
illegal ones.
a door fee, you're gonna have a kegger in your B&B. Don't you
No,
live
it's-
on 7th Street? No, I just want to make money. It's Christmas time. You know?
Well, we got to do something about getting you off that naughty list. What do you think about that? I don't think I agree with Lori being on the naughty list. I don't think she's naughty. I think Lori's one of the good ones.
But
She
we
runs
gave
the-
her a
for the-
position now. Notice?
Yeah,
well,
she's
she runs for the good of the community, or for the good things in Niagara Falls.
she's the
Facebook
chairperson
page.
for the Anti-Sound Effect League.
Oh,
Speaking of which, we need people for our advisory boards in the city still.
I've already
Yes.
put in my resume.
Mine
I'm
is
your
going in
Huckleberry.
next week. You got till the 23rd.
I'm your
I believe it
Huckleberry.
is.
I'm your
Yes, well,
Huckleberry.
next week.
Yep.
I know zoning board's down 3. We're going to be down 3 people.
Are you on the zoning board?
Yes, I am.
Oh, are you the chairperson?
I may be next year.
Oh, how many people are on that board, Lori?
5.
There's 5, 1, 2, 7 of us.
There's 5 of them usually.
We have to. Well, there's 7 of us.
Oh.
And
Wow.
quorum was 4,
Mike just
and we're
left.
going to be down 3, so at least we'll have a quorum in January.
And you guys get paid, or do you get kickbacks, or at least anything?
You
something like
can
that?
if you choose to go to human resources, and there's a stipend, whatever you're gonna. I think it might be $25.
But you get the medical insurance too, then, right?
No.
Damn it. I already get it
Well,
anyway,
that
so.
just means you have to get really good. You have to learn the developers really good, and hang out with the developers.
That's what you got to get. I've heard that there's some pretty good kickbacks throughout the city, and yeah. But
I don't know
wouldn't know
about
anything
that.
about that.
I haven't even met the new guy from code enforcement. He has not attended one of our hearings.
Oh, the director of code enforcement.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
let me offer you some personal advice about that director of code enforcement. Record your conversations, because that cocksucker's a liar. He likes to tell lies about people, and I got the audio recording to prove it. Lying little bastard.
That's what you went through a couple months ago, isn't it?
Yeah, in October it was. Fucker. I ain't done with him yet, neither.
Yeah, I asked, for him to attend, but nobody showed up.
Well, part of the problem with him attending after he's done with his day job is that he goes to work as a security guard at the Buffalo VA hospital, so he doesn't have time to be able to do that. But we're gonna hire him. And you know what else is funny?
You can hire
That
me
asshole
for-
don't live in the fucking city neither.
You can hire me for all these positions.
But they still
Still?
let him work here. Nah, that asshole don't live in the fucking city. Says he's got an apartment at the Jefferson Apartments. Yeah, my ass.
Oh,
Bullshit.
I live in the city. I want to know how all these people get all these jobs, and I'm still here, working side jobs and shit. I should be like dictator of the city by this point.
Dude, I told you I'd get you in on the Zoom team. You'd be perfect on that. That's
know.
your weed whacker mob, though.
Well, that's another thing, and I'm going to get with Lori probably over the holiday season, because I do want to put together a committee about putting a festival of lights, community-based festival of lights together.
Yeah, we got to do something with that. We got to put some hustle behind that muscle.
Yeah, but because she's so knowledgeable about everything that goes on.
Well, I don't know about that, but I can
Well,
lend a hand.
when it comes to certain ways of structuring a committee and stuff like that, I think you probably got a pretty good idea of how to do it.
You know, has anybody heard anything about that little boy that come out of the carriage that fell out?
He fell.
Yeah, has he heard anything about his medical condition or anything? Is he gonna be all right?
I think the parents should be on that one.
Well,
I mean,
'Cause I
I feel
know-
bad for it. Like, who was Was it me that were talking about it, Lori Joe? Yeah, it was me and Lori Joe that were talking
Oh,
about
yes,
that little boy
yes,
that fell out of it.
Yeah.
You know, it said in the thing that he was bent over the side looking.
Yeah.
And that he's in there with his siblings and parents.
And he was, how old was he? Was he 5?
Yeah, he was
Five.
very
Yeah.
young.
Yeah. You know, and like I was saying to her, she even said it, you know, that's going to get rid of the carriage thing.
Yeah.
That's not the carriage operator's fault, you
It
know.
isn't. No.
But
No, but
we could also think in terms of how can we stop that from happening again, regardless of whose fault it is.
Yeah.
Well, what would be a great ideal is creating like a Polar Express type, use the Discovery bus, turn that into like a little funky
sled,
Polar
yeah.
Express thing. You know,
Hey, we could get some farm tractors and some hay wagons down here and decorate those things up.
oh yeah, that'd be hilarious.
You know, we could do that. Absolutely. Get some bumper skiing going on once we get some snow and ice down there on the roads.
Mm-hmm.
Start bumper skiing on some of the buses and stuff like that. I'm all down for that.
Well, that sounds all good. And, yeah, Lori Joe.
is
Let me-
he trying to end the show? Is that what he's doing?
No, he's not.
Oh,
I said you liked our sound effects, so he was just giving you a little sound effects there.
I thought he was saying good night.
He was calling bullshit on somebody. I don't remember.
No,
who
but
it
we
was.
are
run-
going to be rolling
run-
here soon.
Yes.
I was going to say running the credits with all those farm animals.
No,
No,
not yet.
No, he
Oh,
always puts
come
on
on.
some
We
pretty-
never end on farm animals.
Not
There is
farm
so
animals.
much more that we can use.
Could you imagine could you imagine like the Facebook post that would go out about how much we loved farm animals?
Oh, God! We're gonna die!
We are pushing up against the time,
Oh,
and
Yeah, and Tim's got to get it home and get his stuff loaded because I'm going to hunting camp.
yes,
I'm going to go slay a deer.
Peter's having a blast with them sound effects.
At least he's got his timing on tonight, though. I mean, but we do want to say thank you very much for calling in, and we want to tell you
Okay.
have a very Merry
hear-
Christmas.
thanks.
And
I had my nights mixed up.
and I think I
It's
may. Don't be surprised if maybe you see a gas card pop up on your windshield of your car or something.
And don't be a stranger. You should be calling more often to tell us, you know, your thoughts, because
I'm usually typing in the comments,
Yes,
Yeah.
but I had a
Well,
feeling.
next year, starting next year, that we're going to be changing a few things around. I don't know if we're going to be changing the dates around. Next year, starting next year, who's got? We're going to be changing a few things around. I don't know if we're going to be changing the dates
Well, we
around.
got an echo
Next
going
year,
now.
starting
That
next
sounds
year,
like a-
who's got? Somebody hit me
We're
with
going
an
to be
echo.
changing a few things around. I don't know if we're going to be changing the dates
Well,
around.
we got an
Next
echo
year,
going now.
start next
Sounds like
year.
a-
Who's got?
I just
Sound on.
Not me.
I just had to shut down the thing. Is Lori still on here? Did I lose her?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
I'm gonna be bringing in tablets. I'm actually gonna have them repaired and have one for me and Tim so we can follow along while everything's going.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I thought you did.
Well, I
Already.
did, but Jackson, we have screens in front of us, but it's hard for me to pay attention to my beautiful face and everything else that's going on. And then Peter,
I'm sorry.
so I was bringing it in, but Jackson broke it. So.
Bold and ugly.
All right.
and
Well, Miss
ugly.
Pello, you have a great
Bold and
night
ugly.
and have a great
All right.
holiday if we don't see you before then, and have a happy New
You
Year.
too.
All right.
Merry
Bye-bye.
Christmas.
Thanks for the call. Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night.
Bye-bye. All right.
Well, gentlemen, we're right at 8:30. I know you wanted to go, get ready to go
Hunting.
Miss
Deer
some-
camp. I'm
miss
going
some
hunt
deer.
camp. No, I ain't gonna miss no deer. I see one I'm shooting at. I'm
You
telling
better
you.
stop missing them damn deer.
You know what? I've hit everything I've shot this year. I just couldn't find those first two that I shot.
Playing
The
hide and
last one
seek with your
veterans.
ass.
No, the blood trail went gone, and I had help. I had, somebody come out to help me as well. And he
Problem
couldn't
was
find
he was
me.
on a playground.
Yeah, right. It was
Well-
in front of the grocery store, and
I'm
Ran
not
out of
gonna. I'm
orders.
not gonna make no ignorant comments about why he couldn't help you find it, because
yeah, it'll be all right.
I mean, yeah.
But it's all good in the hood. But anyway, well, let's see. What can we got anything else to bitch about? No.
No.
We got last thing for the wreath for tomorrow.
Wreath for
Oakwood
tomorrow?
Cemetery. They're going to be there at 11:30, starting at 12, laying the wreath down. If anybody wants to go to that, you're more than welcome to show up for that.
Jingle
Gonna
Falls?
Be some snow. Could be some snow.
Yeah.
Make it interesting.
I think tomorrow's also another Jingle Falls weekend.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. What else we got going on? Coffee with Chris. Final Coffee with Chris.
Yeah, get down there and make sure you guys give that council member some ideals so he can implement them in the city.
Soon to be former council member, by the way. He is one of
I
the
told him
ones
good luck, and I was being serious when I told him good luck, you know, and it's just the way I had to be honest with him. I wasn't being, he kind of looked at me like I was being assholeish. I was sincerely saying good luck.
I do have to say one last thing. I finally had my first Italian cookie. It was a cuccidata.
Yeah.
Cuccidata.
Cuccidata. Terry
Oh,
Tompkins,
bene.
Kenny's wife gave me one, and I didn't know what it was.
Hold on. Terry brought you cookies?
No,
and
I
I'm
had to
sitting in
go
the
over
house
there.
with just some basic ass cookies?
No, I had to go over there for something, and she had just got done making them, and she's like, "Here, try this." I'm like, "What the hell is it?"
She's always posting pictures of cookies.
And I didn't know what it was. I'd never had one before, but I'll tell you what, it was good. And she wouldn't part with any more of them. I got one. And Kenny was like I think he wanted to lick my fingers or something if I had any crumbs left on them, because
Kenny looks like he would lick your fingers if you had like
that's for me. Now, my wife made those for me. What are you doing? Licking my Sorry, dude. She offered it. I just had one. That's all I had.
That's how it starts.
But yeah, by all means, get out there and spend some time with your family.
Listen, and if you want to be realistic, let's be honest. Go out and spend your hard-earned money on Amazon.
If you can't find nothing to spend it on, you can spend it on me. Give me a call.
If you need to go and buy a bunch of gifts, go to Amazon, people.
I'm a size 50 acres in Southern Tier.
50 acres, and he needs to fill 3 of them tags. So if you know somebody that could actually kill something, give him a
soup
call.
this year by the time this is all said and done.
But
no, and keep those people in Kentucky in your prayers. Everybody down there lost a lot of people lost all their stuff, and it's not so much that they lost their stuff, but they lost their lives, and they have no direction right now, and they're really struggling to get through. So, keep those people in your prayers as well, and protect yourself from the COVID the best you can. If you choose to get vaccinated, by all means, go get vaccinated, get boosted. Everything you got to do to make you feel safe and comfortable. By all means, please be safe and comfortable.
I'm going to dress up as a deer and go out where you're hunting.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll be real safe there.
Shit, you could probably.
I'll take that bet.
You could probably wave at Tim while he's doing a drive-by.
54 caliber muzzle loader, hot and heavy, coming in.
That's just,
495 grain
I didn't know
bullet
you needed an enema.
You get an enema.
All right.
I got a bidet, so I don't need one. Anyhow.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it.
Hopefully Colin is still listening, because I'm going to leave us with a song while I tune out.
Sounds good.
We all good?
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Niagara Graffiti. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Feliz Navidad. We'll see you next year.
Later, everybody.